Hello leaders and future leaders, this is retired Sergeant First Class Bites. In this video, we're going to discuss the differences and similarities between the Army National Guard and Army Reserve. I have personally served in both Army components as well as the regular Army. I will provide information on each component as well as my own opinion. The Army National Guard and Army Reserve are both components or elements that branch off from the Army. The overall purpose of both components is to aid the Army in times of need. Although their main purpose is similar, there are many differences as well. One of the biggest differences between the National Guard and Army Reserve is their leadership or command. The Army Reserve takes orders from the President of the United States as they are solely on a federal mission. The National Guard is on a dual mission. They have a federal mission and a state mission. Therefore, they receive orders from the President on the federal side and orders from the governor on the state side. Due to the dual mission of the National Guard, Guardsmen have a more diverse job. Not only do they train to fight against a foreign enemy, but they also prepare to respond to domestic natural disasters such as hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes, floods, blizzards, etc. The regular Army, Army Reserve, and Army National Guard all attend basic combat training and advanced individual training jointly. This means at basic training and advanced training, active duty Army soldiers, Army Reserve soldiers, and Army National Guard soldiers will be in attendance together. They all wear the same uniforms. They all operate under the Uniform Code of Military Justice and live by the Soldier's Creed. Beyond basic and advanced training, Guard and Reserve soldiers will train together at other military schools, but not always. It will depend upon their specific training that the soldier is receiving. For example, a Guard soldier who goes to airborne school will attend this training with active duty Army and Army Reserve soldiers. Now, if a Guard soldier attends recruiting school, they will only attend this training with other Guard soldiers. Again, the type of military training will be the determining factor. Quick plug, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Your support motivates me to continue putting out these videos to assist you and others alike. Know that I have your six and I'm here to help anytime. A quick check into the size of each component shows me that there are about 199,000 soldiers in the Army Reserve and 400,000 soldiers in the Army National Guard. This tells us the National Guard is about double the size of the Army Reserve. This is particularly important to note when you are comparing each component because with size comes more jobs. With the Guard having more jobs, that expands the opportunities for more promotions. Also, with the Guard being so large, more armories are required to facilitate the number of troops. For those that do not know, an armory is a location in which most Guard and Reserve members report to duty and conduct training. Some of their training at least. Since the Guard has more armories, the chances of finding a unit closer to your home are a lot greater than finding a Reserve unit near you. When considering whether to enter the Army National Guard or Reserves, it is important to consider how promotions work. The Army Reserve falls under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, while the National Guard falls under Title 32. So listen to this. Army Reserve members under Title 10 can be promoted to vacant positions that are federally available. So that means that if you live in California, the nearest promotion to you might be all the way in Texas. National Guard members under Title 32 can only be promoted to vacant positions that are available within their jurisdiction, and their jurisdiction is their state or territory. If I'm losing you, just leave a comment and let me know what you're confused about, and I will respond. With National Guard promotions from E5 and up, you make a mileage election ranging from 50 miles to statewide. You are basically telling the Guard how far you are willing to travel for a promotion. The more flexible you are with distance, the better chances that you will be promoted quicker. Again, if further elaboration is needed on anything that I've covered, just shoot me a comment and I will explain more in depth or break it down differently until you are tracking. Like the Guard, the Reserve allows you to select your promotion radius as well. The reason for a promotion radius selection is because these components do not want to force you to drive hundreds of miles for training. As I previously stated, the National Guard has more armories, which equals more jobs, which will more than likely lead to landing a promotion closer to home. Since the Army Reserve has about a quarter of the armories and they are part of the federal government, their promotions can require the soldier to transfer states. That is not uncommon at all. As the non-commissioned officer in charge of the Eastern region of Tennessee, we had several Reserve soldiers transferred to the Guard because of the lack of promotion opportunities. We had one specific Reserve soldier transfer because the closest promotion offer for him him was in Florida, 11 hours from his current home of record. I only spent a year and a few months in the Army Reserve before I transferred. I transferred for numerous reasons. I enlisted as a motor transport operator or an 88 Mike. I went to 88 Mike school before I reported to my unit. Upon completion of 88 Mike school, I reported to my unit only to find out we had no vehicles. It was a transportation company with no mode of transportation. If you want to hear about my time in the Army Reserve, I have left a link in the video description where I talk about part of my experience. Pay for guardsmen and reservists are both based on your rank and time in service. In the description, I will add a National Guard pay video, but it is accurate for the Army Reserve too. Each component has a monthly drill, annual training, and anything else the military calls them to do. That could be active duty operational support, active duty special work orders, or deployments. Anytime you are called to duty, you will be compensated. The Army National Guard and Army Reserve share the exact same federal benefits, but with the Guard having the dual mission, state and federal, they receive state benefits as well. Army Reserve soldiers do receive some state benefits, but not as many as National Guard soldiers. One of the biggest state benefit differences is educational benefits. Both components receive federal tuition, but Guard soldiers receive state tuition as well. This is a massive difference if you have an interest in going to college. Let me give you an example. Both the Reserve and Guard receive $4,000 a year from federal tuition assistance. For the Army Reserve, that is all the tuition assistance you will receive. In the Guard, depending on the state you are in, you will receive tuition assistance as well. Each state varies with how much they pay. So let us use the Minnesota Army National Guard as an example. Their state TA will pay up to 100% of tuition based on the University of Minnesota undergrad SIM rate. The University of Minnesota costs approximately $28,827 a year. Like I said, there is a massive difference with educational benefits. So in the Minnesota Army National Guard, you will receive almost $30,000 more toward college than you would if you were in the Army Reserve in Minnesota. And that's just in 1 year. Again, if you have any questions, comment those below and I will certainly respond. Although the Army National Guard and Army Reserve do share some of the same military occupational specialties, the Army Reserve primarily consists of support MOSs, and the Army National Guard has both combat and support MOSs. If you are in either component and you want to transfer to the regular Army, it is a possibility. Both components will require a DD Form 368, which is a request for conditional release, releasing you from the Reserve or Guard, signed by your commander. Your commander is the approving or denying authority on this form. Both the Army Reserve and National Guard have full-time positions available. I spent 99% of my time in the National Guard as a full-time soldier. These active Guard Reserve or AGR positions can be hard to come by because they are highly sought after positions. Most AGR soldiers will tell you that being an AGR soldier is the best kept secret in the military, and I certainly agree with that statement. I will make a video on this topic in detail in the future. When you consider everything that I have mentioned, I feel like the Army National Guard is the better option overall, at least in most cases. There are rare cases where the Army Reserve might be able to offer you the exact MOS you want near your home with a bonus and the GI Bill kicker, which you could still get in the Army National Guard too. I recently had a subscriber tell me that he transferred to the Army Reserve from the Army National Guard. This is literally the first person I have known to do this in my 20 or so years working with the military. This soldier said that the Army Reserve offered him a full-time position if he transferred from the Guard. He was unable to find a full-time position with the Guard, so he accepted the offer and made the transfer. He also mentioned that the National Guard has better benefits, which I have touched on some in this video. If the soldier I am speaking on comments on this video, I will pin his comment so that you can ask him further questions and get his opinion. If this video was helpful to you, please hit that like button. I respond to all my comments, so feel free to ask me any questions you have. The only dumb question is the one not asked. This is Sergeant First Class Bites. I'm out.